Two messages impressed me, or I was more inclined to concentrate on them when reading. And these were first about the unity of the Church of Christ, and the second about the Mother of God. We believe Virgin Mary is the Mother of God, and we must pay respect to her and ask her intercession. And this is quite clear from the messages that the Lord gave Myrna, that we should respect his mother. It only confirmed our belief in the intercession of Virgin Mary. The second point about the unity, the Lord always wanted one church, one flock. He meant it to be one church and one flock. Unfortunately, we are divided today into several churches, many actually, but we always should pray for the unity and work for the unity, and the way to achieve it is to forget our differences, forget our own interpretations of the nature of Christ, the divine and the human, and being a monophysite or diaphysite, etc. We should all forget these things and be guided by love, because love is God. Love is the whole message of Christ is love. If we are guided by love and by peace, we should be able to resolve our differences. And I pray that God implants this love in the hearts of our leaders, church leaders, in the Holy Sees, so they can sit together and resolve these differences, and we go back to being one church and one flock.
Thank you, Father. Remember us and Sister Myrna in your prayer.
I am the pastor of St. Andrew Russian Greek Catholic Church here in El Segundo, California, and also the pastor of St. Paul Melkite Greek Catholic Mission, also here in El Segundo.
Father, what was your reaction when you first heard about Myrna Nazzour?
The first time I heard about Myrna, I had gone to visit one of my parishioners who was dying from cancer, and she wears about her neck a small, very inexpensive icon of Mary. The icon is a piece of paper in between two sheets of plastic. And she told me that this girl Myrna had come and had seen her just a few days before, and they had prayed together. And as they were praying, Myrna held the icon between her finger and her thumb. And when she was finished praying, she released the icon, and there was a thumbprint made out of oil on this print, on this icon print. Well, when my parishioner told me this, I was very skeptical. I don't believe in many of this type of thing at all. So I just said, I suppose, well, that's nice, you know, something like that. And I left it at that. And about a month later, I was called to one of my parishioners' homes to bless the house. It is the custom of the Eastern Church after January the 6th to take the water which we bless at church and take it then to each parishioner's home and bless the home in commemoration of the baptism of Christ. And while I was at this home, I was told that this girl Myrna, was also going to be there. And so I said, oh fine, good, it'd be a chance at least to meet her. And she came in, and everyone made such a fuss about her that I thought, well, maybe I should include her in the ceremony. So I asked her to hold the bowl. What we do is that the head of the household usually holds the bowl. I take the water which we bless in church, pour it in this bowl, and then we take the water and we go from room to room singing the hymn of the day and blessing the walls of the house. So the owners of the house agreed to that. They asked Myrna to hold the bowl. I then took the water from my briefcase, put it in the bowl, and we said the prayers together, and then we began to walk from room to room as I would then take the water from the bowl and sprinkle the walls of the house. And I noticed after the first two rooms that when I would reach for the water began to look as if there was something floating in it. And my immediate reaction was, well, they didn't give us a very clean bowl. There was something dirty in the bowl, and the water caused it to be loosened. But we kept going from room to room rather in this house. And by the time we finished, the water no longer looked like water. It looked like a milky substance, something like, in the United States here we have this non-fat milk, a very pasty white substance. It wasn't clear anymore at all. And to the touch, it felt like oil and not like water. And somehow, Myrna, who has this capacity to gush forth oil, somehow it came from her hands and went through the bowl somehow and into the water. That was the second time, or the first time I had encountered her. Subsequently, I have encountered her praying in the backyard at Mr. Tawil's home.
Thank you, Father. Now that you've had a chance personally to know Myrna, what do you think of her?
Certainly totally different from when I first heard about her at the ladies' home. She's an incredible woman. It's impossible not to be in her presence and to be affected by her holiness, by her sincerity, by her gentleness, to look at her reminds me of, to be honest with you, it reminds me of many icons of Mary. She reminds me of what perhaps Mary looked like when she was young.
Father, have you seen the oil come from Myrna's hands? And if you have, what conclusions can you make from this?
Again, I went to the home of Mr. Tawil in Westchester area of Los Angeles here. Again, someone who was not really convinced that this was actually happening. And that evening at his home, there must have been 150, maybe 200 people there. And we prayed together in the backyard of his home. And then Myrna asked me if I would relate to the people the story that I had just related to you about the water, which I did. And I had no more than finished this little talk and she was sitting next to me at this time, when suddenly her hands just began to glisten. They became wet and glistening, shining with this oil. It would not, in my opinion, it would not have been possible for anyone to have manufactured this. It could not have been fake in any way, because she was just sitting there, holding her hand something like this, and they began to glisten with the oil. And it continued to come, this oil continued to come forth while she blessed that 150 to 200 people.
Father, the messages seem to be about unity, faith, and love. The primary message, the kingdom of heaven on earth, is the church. Those who divided it have sinned. Those who are happy in these divisions are still sinning. What is your opinion? How do you think we can accomplish this difficult task?
Certainly, unity is the goal of us all. St. John in his Gospel tells us that Jesus prayed that the church might be one, just as he, Christ, and the Father are one.